this Excel file, it's a overtly complicated spreadsheet that in each one of these squares, if you type a number, 1, and press enter, the square turns black. And so you could use this to draw a picture. You could highlight all this stuff here. It'll delete it all, and then you could start drawing a picture using the number 1. So I'm just typing the number 1. Maybe I want to type a clock. I want to do a little clock pattern. Or something like that. So that would be the pattern I wanted to display on the oscilloscope screen. And then over to the right, it's all you see. It just looks like a couple of. You can't even tell what it is, right? But if I took that code, took those cells, and I opened up Notepad, and I pasted them in Notepad, what you're going to see is it's a lot of DAC XY functions that have XY values. That if you wrap these in a function, do something like this, my picture, and then at the very end, you do that. So now we have a function. If you copied this into your code and you call this function, it will graph out your picture. And the C programming language, it doesn't care about spaces. It doesn't care that there's multiple functions on one line. You just copy and paste this. You don't have to clean up this formatting. You don't have to try to make it look all pretty and put one call per line. You do that, it'll take you an hour. Okay. And then so if you're an Excel junkie and you want to learn some Excel tricks, this is a nice spreadsheet to look at. There's some pretty crazy formula going on here that I set up to be able to look up the values. If you look at these cells across the top, let me zoom in. Across the top and down the side, it's got numerical values, right? And so when you put a 1 here, it picks up 20, picks up this 20 right here, and this A8 right here. And then when you go all the way over here, what you see is it calls the function DAC XY with the values 20 and A8. And it does that all based on the numerical value of 1 being stored in this cell. So when you type 1, enter, the cell turns black. I think there's some cells up here that don't turn black. But they still work. The function will still be over here. So if you draw the pattern, if you drew your pattern way up here, you'd end up with just 1s. And that's just conditional formatting in Excel, and I don't have I didn't format it on. I think it works all the way to the bottom once it turns on. So that's the template. Okay, that's part 6. Make your own pattern. And part 7 is parse an integer from a string, and then there's a part 8, parse 2 numbers. So that's all for today. If there's any questions, there will be shortly.